Shalom. First and foremost, I'll begin by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopefully lit. So, this video is catered towards is friendship, right? Friendship, and really the only friends that you should have are the ones a part of this truth, right? You shouldn't really have close friends who aren't part of this truth, right? Because they're gonna they'll lead you astray, right? The only people that you should continually dwell with are people who are part of this truth, right? Now, of course, people, somebody may come onto somebody may watch this video and think, but didn't Yahushua, didn't he dwell with, uh, well, not dwell with, but didn't he go to the wicked? And yeah, he did, right? But he did that to what? To teach. You know what I'm saying? To tell them to turn from their ways. So that's the only business that we have with them. The only business that we have with thieves, murderers, adulterers, coveters, so on and so forth, is to teach them the right way, right? But to just go out, and just dwell with them, ask them for advice, that's foolish. There's no need to there's nothing that you can learn from them. They need to be learning from you, right? So the only people that you should, you know, consult with or things of that nature are people of this truth, man. Those are your true friends, ones that you can learn from, right? Um, so let's read this one first. All right, this is the book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, right? Chapter 37, right? And yeah, we'll read, start at verse 1. It says, let me turn this off so I It says, every friend saith, I am his friend also, but there is a friend which is only a friend in name. Is it not a grief unto death when a companion and a friend is turned to an enemy? O wicked imagination, whence camest thou and to cover the earth with deceit? There is a companion which rejoiceth in the prosperity of a friend, but in the time of trouble will be against him. There is a companion which helpeth his friend for the belly, and taketh up the buckler against the enemy. So right here, what is this talking about, man? There's people who may come to you and may claim to, they know this, they know that, they follow the same things, but ultimately they're not in this truth, man. You know, they're not in this. So that's why I say you can't go to people who are outside of, this truth, right? The 100% truth, through the elder apostles of GMS, beginning, with the elder apostle Tahar on down, right? Um, if they didn't, if they don't come up from there, if they don't learn, then more than likely 9 times out of 10, and really 10 times out of 10, the advice they give you is going to be off, right? It's going to be off. It's not going to lead you in the way of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, right? Um, where else stop? Verse 6, it says, forget not thy friend in thy mind, and be not unmindful of him in thy riches. Every counselor extolleth counsel. I think I said that right. It's lucky if I didn't. It says, but there is some that counseleth for himself. Beware of a counselor, and know before what need he hath, for he will counsel for himself, lest he cast the lot upon thee, and say unto thee, thy way is good, and afterward he stand on the other side to see what shall befall thee. right? So these are the type of people who, like what the saying is, these are the type of people who do what? They'll tell you, yeah, you should do that. You know what I'm saying? You may have a sibling. You can ask your sibling, you should I do this? Should I do that? Everybody, yeah, you might as well do this. You might as well. You know what I'm saying? And now in their mind, it might be harmless in their mind, but in reality, they're what? They're leading you astray. They're giving you an answer that a wicked man would give, right? Or you can have, maybe you got a childhood friend that you grew up with, who really not your friend because he's not leading you or he's not helping you continue on your walk with you. How about Shimmy how shot? But he could be a childhood friend that you may ask him for advice. He may give you some dumbass advice and know it's some dumb advice. And like it's saying, sit back and watch and see what happens to you. You know, like an every man for himself kind of thing, right? Now, of course, we know what you at the end of the day, this is an individual thing, right? You gotta work out your own salvation, right? You gotta search the Lord out for yourself. But the scripture reads two is better than one. We're gonna read that after we finish with this one. But actually, we can go to it now. Just go to it now. This is Ecclesiastes 4:9. It says two are better than one because they have good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat. How can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him. And the threefold cord is not quickly broken. So, two is better than one. There's nothing better than a brother, man. Somebody who's in this truth, right? So going back to 37, is going to continue to prove the point I'm making, right? So Shirach 37 and verse 10, right? And this is really what I wanted to get to, right? I read the first couple of verses because it just talks about friendship, right? A true friend, right? But what I really wanted to get to was this, right? Verse 10, it says, consult not with one that suspecteth thee, and hide thy counsel from such as envy thee. Neither consult with a woman touching her of whom she is jealous, neither a coward in matters of war, nor with a merchant concerning exchange, nor with a buyer of selling, nor with an envious man of thankfulness, nor with an unmerciful man touching kindness, nor with a slothful for any work, nor with an hireling for a year of finishing work, nor with an idle servant of much business. Hearken not unto these in any matter of counsel, because it doesn't make sense. They're contrary, right? You talk to a woman about somebody she's jealous. What? She's emotional. So what? She's gonna tell you, you know, do something. Do something to this person. You should do that person something. You know what I'm saying? You ask someone who's lazy about work. They, it doesn't make sense, right? You ask a coward about war. They're, you know what I'm saying? These things are contrary one to the other. They make no. They have no. Um. Or that that goes into what did I just do? That goes into uh let me think. Let me think. Bear with me. I think I spelled that wrong. It's not gonna come up if I spelled it wrong. Damn. I think it's Amos 3. No. Yeah, this is true, right? This is kind of what I wanted, but that's not the one. Um, I'll read this one though. This is Amos 3:3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Right? They're contrary to the other. Well, they're, if you have a person who is wicked, who dwells in wicked, or they may not be what the world deems as wicked, right? They could be a Christian, you know. They could be someone who calls them the name Jesus, but guess what? That's going off too. They going off just as bad as anybody else. Cause what? It's not the truth. It's not bringing you closer to Yahweh while Yahweh Shai, right? Um, let me see if I can grab this one. I think it says Christ. Yeah, which we know that's not what it is. Christ. But yeah, unequally, yeah, kind. So this is Second Corinthians 6:14. It says, "Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? And what concord hath the Hamashiach with Belial? Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel?" Right. So there's no point for us to be hanging around people who don't follow Hawashai. There's no it's it's not beneficial to us, right? It's not beneficial to you. Right? I don't know if the mic cut out, but it's not beneficial to you, man. You know. So let's go back and let's finish this off, right? Sharet 37 and verse 12, right? Because this is the really the point I wanted to get to. It says, "But be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry." So this is a person that these are the people that you want to be, that you want as a friend. Someone who's going to grieve with you if you're going through it. They're gonna be right there by your side. They're not gonna look at you and laugh. They're not gonna look at you and say, "Oh well, you know what I'm saying, you're on your own." No, man, if you're going through some shit, they're gonna help you through it, right? Um, I, that reminds me of the video I was watching. I think I'm pretty sure it was last week, right, with the brothers of GMS Dallas. It was on GMS Yawan's page. Um, but they were talking about charity, doing for brothers, and we all can do better. We all can be better at that, right? We all can be better at being brotherly, right? Myself included, of course, right? Spirit speaks through us to us. You know, I could be better. I could be a brother. I could check in on brothers more often. I could look, see how brothers doing, seeing if they need anything. Not even just spiritually, but physically, because we go through things in this world, man. If and the way the brotherhood should be, right? If one man ain't got it, the next man, the next man gonna have it for you. And it should be vice versa. That's the way the Lord wanted it, needed. That's the way he is. That's the way it was supposed to be set up. You know, you're supposed to be a cheerful giver, right? But let's get to well, let's continue. Let's continue on. I want to read down to 15, right? So verse 13, it says, "And let the counsel of thine own heart stand, for there is no man more faithful than thee unto thee than it." Right. So like you gonna look out for yourself at the end of the day. You know. Verse 14, it says, "For a man's mind is sometime won't tell him more than 7 watchmen that sit above in the high tower." But 15 is really a very, really the most important that I've read so far, right? It says, "And above all this, pray to the Most High that He will direct thy way in truth." Man, you gotta pray. You have to make sure you pray unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and you must pray in those names, man. And I had a being transparent. I had a conversation with my mother, and you know how they do. They can't get past a stumbling block. right? It's a stumbling block into the name. Why it's so important? Why this? Why that? It's important because why? It's the truth. The truth is what matters. The truth matters, right? Since I said that, um, the scriptures tell you how 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 deadly serious the truth is, man. You're supposed to strive for truth unto death, right? This is I know it's like it. It's in the Apocrypha. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 4, and verse, I think it said 28, right? Strive for truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. You got to strive for truth. Truth is what matters. The truth is what matters, man. If it didn't matter, then, why did Esau Edom change it up? You know, like if it's of no importance, why change it? Why not just keep it the same? It's these are the things that you have to ask yourself, right? You must ask yourself these things, right? But getting off topic, so getting back on topic, we'll read uh, this other um, chapter, right? And then that'll be the end of it if the spirit, if that's what the spirit wants, right? So this is the book of Sirach, chapter 6, and I'll start at verse 7. It says, "If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him." If you meet a brother per se, if you meet somebody, if you meet an Israelite, let's just put it that way. You meet an Israelite, right? You gotta make sure you prove him, right? Like you gotta think. That's why the brothers of GMS, which I am not a part of, this is why the brothers of GMS are selective with who they allow in their camp, because you can't just let anybody in. If anybody could do it, why is it so special? You know what I'm saying? You bring it down to value, right? And of course, it's not about GMS per se, right? It's about the truth. But you have to prove yourself. You have to prove the fact that you are, um, you know, someone who fights for the truth, someone who stands stiffly for the name of the Lord, as it talks about in the book of Second Ezra chapter 2. I think it's around verse 50, right? Verse 8. It says, "For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble." Right? I think that's pretty self-explanatory, man. You got people out here who won't help you, and they're only friends to you. They only call you, they only text you, they only hit you up, they only want to hang out with you when it's beneficial to them. Especially if you're somebody who's a cheerful giver. If they go out, you go out to a bar with a guy and you buy, you know what I'm saying. You may give him like a little, you may buy him a shot or something. Just cause he with you. You know what I'm saying? Why not? That's the only time he call you, trying to go to the bar. You trying to go to the bar because he know that he know you gonna do that because that's just you. These are the type of people you gotta watch out for, man. You know. Um, Verse 9, it says, "And there is a friend who, being turned to enmity and strife, will discover thy reproach." Again, some friend is a companion at the table, but will not continue in the day of affliction. So when everything is good, when everybody eating, yeah, y'all, yeah, he a friend, you know. But in the day of affliction, when things go to shit, when Jacob's trouble hits and shit hitting the fan, he ain't gonna be nowhere to be found, right? That's why we read the scripture right before it, right? You got to be continually with the godly man, someone who keeps the commandments of the Lord, because what? He's not gonna leave you in that day. He's gonna be standing right there beside you. Y'all gonna be going through the shit together. Those are the kind of people that you want, man. Um, Verse 11, or I'll read verse 10 again. It says, "Again, Some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of affliction. But in thy prosperity he will be as thyself, and will be bold over thy servants. If thou be brought low, he will be against thee, and will hide himself from thy face. So it's like if you got a decent job, the Lord bless you with a job, right? Okay, you come into a little bit of money, cool. And not but not his friend. Like I said, he wanna go to the bar with you every weekend. You know what I'm saying? He wanna come around you, yada yada yada. But say the Lord brings you lower. He brings you down. Say you wouldn't do what you're supposed to do. The Lord brought you down to a lower estate. Now you making minimum wage. Is that brother still gonna be there? Is he still gonna call you all the time? You know what I'm saying? Is he still gonna be checking in on you? 9 times out of 10, no. If he's not a part of this truth, if he's not following the truth, then 9 times out of 10, no. You know, the people of this world, they don't understand loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's to wickedness. That's the only thing they are loyal to, and it's wickedness. you know, they loyal to their flesh. But we strive to be loyal to the spirit, man. You know, um, verse verse 13. It says, separate thyself from thine enemies, and take heed of thy friends. Now, and but you these are the things that show you how wicked the world, how ass backwards the world is. Because what the world tell you to do? Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. But what's this scripture telling you? Separate from your enemies, right? And take heed of thy friends. It's telling you just separate. So that's how it's a side note, but that just shows you how ass backward this world is. You know, verse 14 it says, "A faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that hath found such and one, and he that hath found such and one hath found treasure." So if you find a faithful friend, man, you find a brother, right? It's just like a treasure, man. It's just like a treasure. That's why the scripture that we just read in the other book of Ecclesiastes, um, or Ecclesiasticus, Salakia. Um, that was chapter 37, where it said, if you lose a friend, that's just like a death. You know. Um, so back again, chapter 6, verse 14, or I read 15, right? It says, "Nothing doth countervail a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable. A faithful friend is the medicine of life, and they that fear the Lord shall find him. Whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also." And so that just goes right into, like the scripture was saying in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4. You need the brother, because if you fall, he gonna bring you up. You know, this is what the brotherhood is about. This is what it's about. You know, this is what it's about, right? But it's a different kind of lesson, right? But it's an important thing. Why? Because it's a part of the scriptures. If it's a part of the scriptures, is important. So Lord willing, that was edifying, right? You gotta be with righteous men. You know, the ones who stand stiffly for the name of the Lord, the ones who do the work and the will of the Lord, right? So with that, um, give our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and others of Great Millstone once again. Shalom to